Namaste, I'm Dr. Nikita, and welcome to my interview series where we're collaborating with distinguished personalities from the health and wellness industry. Today, we have with us an Ayurveda Acharya who has not only mastered Ayurveda but also translated it into the most palatable format when it comes to lifestyle and nutrition. She has a growing Instagram following and she also conducts seminars and workshops to spread the word about Ayurveda to thousands of individuals' lives. So we have with us Dr. Rekha Radhamani. A very warm welcome to you, Dr. Rekha.
Thank you, Dr. Nikita. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be in your series of interviews. Thank you.
My pleasure. So, Dr. Rekha, would like to know a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so basically, I'm from Kerala, and right now I'm settled in Dubai. Though I'm like my one feet is in Dubai and the other feet is in India. Um, I come from a background of Ayurvedic doctors. My dad, my granddad, and everybody's an Ayurvedic doctor. And then I have a hospital back home. So that's how I came to Ayurveda. And I studied BAMS from Mahatma Gandhi University, Nangalil Ayurveda College in Kodamagaram. And I did BMS, Bachelor of Ayurvedic Medicine Surgery. And from there, when I was studying, I was not really very interested in Ayurveda, to be very honest. You know, growing up, I lived a life of Ayurveda, of course, because whenever I used to return from my school, I used to smell, Ayurvedic oils from my house. So I used to ask my dad, why is this smell? This smell is so awkward, being that naughty teenager that I was. And later on, I realized that this is something very unique and very good about my family, that, we are all brought up in such a way, me and my brother, that we follow a lot of principles of Ayurveda.
I just wanted to know, Dr. Rekha, a little bit about yourself because I mean, it's really interesting that you have a background of Ayurveda Charyas. You are born in God's own country, which is Kerala, and you have studied Ayurveda in Kerala. And from Kerala, you're of course an Ayurvedic doctor to Dubai. It must be like such a interesting journey because you've carved a niche for yourself. So, I really want to know more about this journey and what inspires you.
Yeah, so if you ask me about my journey, I belong to a family of Ayurvedic doctors. My dad's dad, dad. So everybody is an Ayurvedic doctor, and I grew up smelling Ayurveda, eating Ayurveda, and living the Ayurvedic way. But having said that, while I was in college, what happened was suddenly we were put. I was always a topper, and I used to be very good at studies in school. But when I came to Ayurveda, I realized that that's not enough. You have to study books and books of shlokas to memorize, and it was so difficult to study. So I had to study like literally 18 hours every day. So what I used to do was I never used to care about my health. All I cared about was, how to get good marks, how to pass. So my day started like this. I would wake up by 9 o'clock. Then I would have a loaf of bread. Along with it, I'll have some jam or butter or something, and a tumbler of water. Okay, and I would eat this and study, and I would just take loo breaks. Okay, and this continued the whole day and night, and this continued for almost 3 4 months. I passed, I got very good marks, but I did not realize that, I was actually harming my health. I was not exercising, I was not sleeping right, I was not eating the right food. I was not managing my stress at all. My stress was always continuously high. Then I realized that suddenly I started getting, pain in my joints. I couldn't write. Even my knuckles were swelled up and it was inflamed. So I realized that something was really bad with me because I couldn't even hold a pen. So I went back to Kerala. I asked my dad what is wrong with me. My dad said, okay, why don't you take Ayurvedic treatment for this? Take 2 months break, take treatment, and then go back to your college. But being that naughty teenager that I was not ready to do anything like that. Oh, Ayurveda takes so long to cure. I can't spend so much time, for these things. I just went to an allopathic doctor. So I was told that my condition was rheumatic fever. I will have to have penicillin injections every month for the rest of your life. Okay, and then you may not be able to get married, you may not be able to have kids, it may affect your heart, you may be ending up in wheelchair, and all those things was told to me. So I was like literally, oh, okay, so I should. Okay, then I went ahead and took my first shot of penicillin injections as well. Then I realized that, unless and until I do something about this could affect my entire life. So I went back to my dad, and then I realized that I should start doing something in Ayurveda because that is my only way to go. Because Ayurveda was not an option, and this is the second option I had. So for the next 6 months, I followed Ayurveda to the core. What was said in the books, not even deviating a little bit. I used to wake up, do my proper yoga, do my proper treatments, like starting from Nasya to all the body purification massages. I would go to college, come back, and then take treatment. I used to eat the best food, the right food for me. I used to sleep at least 8 hours every night. I managed my stress when I did breathing practices, meditation, all those things. I practiced stillness. I did all of this right, and by 6 months, I got completely cured of rheumatic fever. It might sound, oh, you got cured. Actually, I got cured. I did my ASO titer levels and my RA factor. It all came negative. So that's my journey. That's when I realized, Ayurveda has uh, so much of effect that I had to realize the importance by actually myself, falling into something and getting that experience. From then on, I realized, okay, I'm so lucky to be able to be learning this. And from then on, I realized that maybe this is my purpose to actually help people to live a healthy and happy life by just focusing Ayurveda and the lifestyle. And if you know what inspires me, the question that you asked, if you ask me, one thing about Ayurveda which is quite different and the most important when it comes to other forms of medicine is that uh, we say that swasthasya swasthya rakshanam. That means helping the healthy person to maintain his health is the most important part of Ayurveda. If you see how much we study, 5.5 years we study Ayurveda in BMS. Out of this, the last 1 year is the year when we learn about chikitsa or treating diseases with medicine. The first 4 years we study on lifestyle. What is the Ritucharya, what is the Dinacharya, what do you have to do, Swastha Vrita, we study even yoga. So it is a lot about lifestyle and how to lead a life without focusing on pills, but focusing on nutrition, how you live, your life itself. So that's the most inspiring part of Ayurveda for me.
Wow, that's truly incredible because, like you said, you actually reversed the condition and you knew the co-factors which were involved in actually getting there. And you actually, when they say yoga is an experience, like yoga is an experience, the same way even I feel Ayurveda is a way of life. And until and unless you don't put it into practice for beginning for yourself and of course all around you, you don't really understand the benefits and the whole wisdom which it has really. So that's really fantastic. So yeah, and also moving forward, you carved a niche for yourself in Dubai. Now the thing is that a lot of us now, definitely Ayurveda is quite renowned and people are recognizing it quite a lot, but slowly and gradually. So when you look at the what is the atmosphere for Ayurveda abroad, like in Dubai, and how did you carve this niche for yourself and create that recognition for it in your journey?
I realized that Ayurveda has not been accepted the way it has to be accepted. If you see, yoga is a multi-billion-dollar industry in the West, including Dubai. You have a lot of yoga studios, a lot of yoga practitioners, a lot of courses and everything. But people are not realizing that when you're practicing yoga, you're actually practicing Ayurveda. Ayurveda and yoga are like sister sciences. It is very important that you have a basics in Ayurveda if you really want to practice yoga. So that when you compare yoga and Ayurveda and the recognition that both are getting, of course Ayurveda is not getting enough recognition, that's for sure. And along with that, other challenges that we are seeing is, Ayurveda is way beyond, turmeric or the khichdi cleanse and all those things that we see today, like the moringa extract. And it's not really Ayurveda, Ayurveda is a way of life. It's not just a turmeric which you add to your milk and you have your golden milk or something. It is something much beyond that. And there is no one thing like one size fits all when it comes to Ayurveda. Each person is different. Everybody has a different body constitution and a different set of bodily dhadus that we say, so each one of us is different and each one of us have a different treatment. That's why Ayurveda is so holistic, where we don't treat people as symptoms. Okay, fever, this is the medicine. Okay, you have elevated temperature, this is the medicine. Or you have cough, this is the medicine. We never do that. That's why Ayurvedic consultations and allopathic consultations are different. While a normal, by research says that a normal allopathic consultation takes around 8 minutes, to come to a diagnosis. The Ayurvedic doctors take at least 30 to 45 minutes to at least understand, because we go from the grassroots level, starting from your Nadi Parshurana, understanding what it is and understanding the root cause, and then working on the whole individual as a whole rather than treating the symptoms. So Ayurveda is quite holistic, and that is something which is missing today. Even there are a lot of counselors, Ayurvedic coaches who do not have real grasp of the subject, as as people who have a degree, like 5.5 years of intensive uh, degree that we have may not be there for them, so their knowledge is quite peripheral. But when they prescribe medicines, like say today morning I got a DM on my Instagram saying that somebody got a severe acidity and a gastroesophageal reflux disease after taking allopathic Ayurvedic medicine for 1 month for some diseases. So, and now she is taking allopathic medicine as to cover up the side effects, because she went to a coach in the US. So things like this keep happening. So it has to be a lot regulated, and you should actually see the background of the people when you go to a real Ayurvedic practitioner and look at the experience what this person brings. And you cannot, yeah, things like that is quite challenging in this sphere.
Right, that's very true. I totally agree that yes, when it comes to Ayurveda, we have a certain like case history taking, which is quite in depth, and it does cover up a lot of aspects which go beyond just understanding the disorder, but really looking into the background. And yeah, that is very true. So one of the major reasons is like our science is very much personalized as like as a science, so we don't really
Yes.
believe in having like a fixed medicine dose and then probably prescribing it for a certain disorder or ailment. So that is not really how we work. And to really get into the depth of it, I personally feel experience and practice, it just keeps building on. And especially like you have got now such a vast
Yes.
experience, so that must be really like coming handy.
Yes.
How do you manage to really spread the lifestyle and nutrition element, all over, how do you manage to really connect? Because I think your growing Instagram following, I think that is something which is a really excellent tool, and I'm really inspired because although there are a lot of doctors, and of course there's a conscious effort, like even we all want to spread the word about Ayurveda and connect and reach out to as many individuals as possible, and it's really inspiring the way you have made it into a very palatable and adaptable format. So how do you manage to do that? Because that is very inspiring, to make the common man understand Ayurveda, at the same time give them the science behind it. So that is something which you do very beautifully. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, so I'm very passionate about educating people. So when I first thought about Ayurveda, I realized that there are not much of easy information. There is a lot of information out there. Okay, if the information is right, then it is not easy. People are not able to understand, and there is a lot of wrong information also. So when I started my Instagram, I was very particular that I want to give the right information, but it should be an easy form. So that's why I started with creating creators which were like funny, happy, and peppy, and saying such things like in when you're having food, how you have to have food, why digestion is so important. These are all in depth, complicated things, but you can put it in a small, simple way so that even small children like my Instagram, because it's quite it is I don't know. I select such pictures and things like that where people can connect easily. And Ayurveda does not have to be so complicated also. It can be done in a fun way. It's not that I really wanted to this taboo around Ayurveda that okay, it is so ancient, so untimely, and it is not relevant anymore. It's not cool. So my idea was to make Ayurveda cool, and to reach out to a lot of people. And these principles of Ayurveda are quite relevant even today. To make people understand about the relevance of Ayurveda today, and also to reach out to more people, you have to convey it in a simple language. So that's why I thought I should create an Ayurvedic Instagram and help people with all these things. And I'm quite passionate about it.
That's very very truly visible, because like you said, I think you are also, like, apart from being a very knowledgeable doctor, I think you're also a creative person deep within, because I mean, the way you express that really makes sense. At the same time, there is, like you said, there's a certain connect, and people can easily understand, because if you portray, I mean, if you convey it in the most simple manner, then only people are going to be able to adapt it. If it just sounds too complicated or complex, then it's very difficult. And Ayurveda, there are some certain areas which people feel are not possible to incorporate, but if you make it simplified and possible, then they easily adapt to it. So that's a very great job which you're doing, and I must congratulate you for that.
Thank you so much. So I had a blog initially. I started way back in 2007 when blogging just came to this world. At that time, I really like writing. So if you ask me what is your talent in, I would always say that I like writing. I'm a very good writer, and I'm very proud about it also, in a very humble manner. And so when I started blogging, I realized a lot of people are interested in my writing. So that's when I was thinking, okay, why not create an Instagram page, and because that is more reachable than a blog, because people don't have time to sit and read a full blog these days. So yeah, that's why. And creativity, yes, I like Photoshop, and I like creating things. So it's been always there. I like painting and things like that. Yeah, so and I'm basically a happy person, and I get these comments from my followers that they can see so much of positivity and happiness from my page, and all this makes me makes me feel that I should create more and I should give more information out there. Yeah, sometimes I even get by people, okay, you are an Ayurvedic doctor, you should be sitting there and doing consultations. Why are you on Instagram? Why are you, you're putting so much of things out there, does it help with your consultations and things like that? So, to all these people, I tell them that, this is something that I'm really passionate about and I'm really happy doing it. And I'm basically a happy person. I'm very happy to see, when people say that they get that positivity and good vibes from my page and from my writing, I really feel, very proud and very happy, very, very, very happy about that.
It's wonderful. I'm sure you will continue with it. I can always see that positivity and that passion which you have, and that is very important. Otherwise, if you're doing it for a certain purpose, then you can, lose out on motivation at times. But if you have that true passion, that drive within you, it just reflects in your work. So that is very much, true. You can't hide it. So, so I
Yeah, so if you have seen my page, you might have already noticed that, I don't endorse even a single product over there. I don't have any paid promotions, and it is a conscious decision. Unless I'm convinced about something, I could. I'm not here to promote or commercially see this as a commercial medium or something like that. I really want to focus, in imparting knowledge and spreading Ayurveda, and I think that's my purpose of life. So that's quite the passion that works, and not just, not for any other reasons.
it's really good to know that. Yes, and also, doctor, now we are currently in a very uncertain situation with the COVID-19, and the situation is such that a lot of us are facing challenges, and especially with the people. Of course, we are lucky if we are staying at home. Like over here, we have got lockdown, so we are most of us are lucky, and of course, the ones who are fighting for us on the front lines, they are risking their lives each day. So the least we can do is really stay at home. So what do you think are the challenges, which people are currently facing in this
Challenges
in
that
this
are currently facing because of coronavirus.
Yes, yes. So what do you think are the different challenges which people could be facing in this current situation, and would you like to give some advice to them? Because there are a lot of people who are facing, even when they are at home, there are certain areas, because we are not used to being at home quarantined for such an extended period of time. So a lot of people are facing difficulties in terms of mental health. So is there any tips in terms of health and lifestyle which you would like to share?
Yeah, I just have one tip to tell you. So this tip is be regular. Okay. When it comes to eating our food, our body does not like any shock. And we study in Ayurveda that, our body wants uniformity. Our body wants to wake up at the same time, eat food at the same time, exercise at the same time, sleep at the same time. You take medicines at the same time. So whatever you do, even take bath at the same time every day. So whatever you do, you should maintain a regularity. So if you're working from home, you mm, wake up in the morning, do your normal things, and then you have a to-do list. Okay, this day I will work this many hours, and this much time I will devote for things. So if you have this regularity, and if you have a timetable or a to-do list for your entire day, not just your work, on what time you wake up, what time you take bath, what time you eat, medicines, exercise. Allot time for all these things, and even at least 10 minutes, devote some time for stillness or meditation. In this way, your life gets planned, because all of a sudden we have been put to, sit at home all of a sudden, and this is something which is very new. To maintain health in these times where you can't go out for gym or you can't do any outdoor activities, uh, this is the best thing to do. Give a time to yourself, give a time to your mind, and also for your body. So your body will thank you if you give it a normal calendar.
Right. That's really wonderful. Yeah, regularity is something which we definitely can maintain, and that's a very different area which I think you've brought to light this perspective, which I'm sure all our viewers would definitely incorporate this and enjoy the benefits in their life, because that is very important. So, Dr. Rekha, you did mention that you have your own center at Kerala, and that is something which is very interesting. So, would you like to tell us a little bit more about the center? What facilities and treatments do you cater to there?
Yeah, so my clinic is in this beautiful place of Kerala in Trivandrum. And it's a normal clinic. It's not like a resort or something very fancy. It is an authentic Ayurvedic center. So more than a clinic, it's more homely, and it's very welcoming and very peaceful and calm kind of atmosphere. You have to come there to experience it. And and the best part about it is, if you're someone who are just looking for a relaxation massage, or somebody who is interested to try Ayurveda, maybe this is not the place, because this is a proper authentic Ayurveda. We don't change the principles of Ayurveda to suit the market. We firmly believe, if you want to do something, do it in the proper way as mentioned in the text. So, say for example, simple thing like a nasya. When we do, we always do the purva karma and paschat karma the way it has been mentioned. Like, uh, putting the medical powder here before you start the medicine, start the treatment, and after the nasya, you massage the feet. So all these things are simple things, but it's very important when it comes to the procedures. So we follow these procedures to the T, and that is something very very important for my dad, and that's something that we follow in our clinic. And yeah, so it's an authentic Ayurvedic Panchakarma institute, and it's very homely, and my mom is the one who is looking after it, and that makes it more more, a place where people would just come and sit and talk. It's more like that. It's more like a home.
Wow, that sounds really beautiful, because I have visited Kerala once. It was for an international conference which was held at Kozhikode. And I must say, like, there is this whole essence of the place. Like, when you visit Kerala and you go, like, we also got a chance to attend a workshop on Panchakarma, and the procedures like Udvartanam. Remember this workshop which we had attended, and it was shown so beautifully. And even the colleges, the way their approach, the whole approach to Ayurveda in Kerala was so, like, amazing, that it's really no wonder that I think Ayurveda and Kerala now go hand in hand. Like, if you talk about Panchakarma, for example, people think of it as, oh, Kerala Panchakarma, you mean Kerala Ayurvedic treatment. So that is how much it is like, there's this whole association with Kerala and Ayurveda. So that's really incredible to know about. And I mean, but is it like there are certain areas of Ayurveda, like, of course, being into Ayurveda, I do know that it's not different, but is it the place which brings it the vibe and the whole, yeah, like they say, it I have experienced it for sure. So what is it exactly? Like, it feels so great to be in Kerala and learn about Ayurveda. So what is it that
Yeah, so I think it has a lot to do with the the culture of the plants and the herbs that you get in Kerala. I think so because in our clinic we make all the medicines that we use for these treatments in house. So we don't have a big facility where we manufacture products or anything. We make them inside our clinic itself. So, and by sourcing, locally available ingredients, whatever is said in the textbooks. So for that, my dad had bought a land, and he cultivated a lot of medicinal plants. and it is from there that we get all these medicinal plants. And I think that is something which is very good in Kerala, is the fact that you get access to all these medicinal herbs and you can grow them, and the soil is so good, that you don't need to put any artificial manure and things like that. So the medicines that we create at home with all these things, like say for example the simple thing like the powder for udvatana or a simple oil for the hair, all these things we make it from what is available locally from our homes. So this is something I think which we don't get otherwise. When we manufacture on a whole scale, on a large scale manufacturing plants and everything, when they make it, I don't know if it will have that much potency. And that's why Ayurveda is quite the Ayurvedic medicines per se are quite potent when you get it from Kerala, and where people make it from home. Like kashayas and all, the kashayas, the decoctions um, that we give, all these are made fresh every day morning in our clinic. So whoever comes get fresh kashaya every day to drink. And this is made every day from locally available, herbs. So this we don't get in these bottled kashayas, or in these capsule kashayas that we get today. So this is the difference. So the potency of the fresh kashaya which you make every day morning and having it is quite different from the capsule that you order from Amazon and have it. So that's the difference.
Wow, that was really fantastic. I mean, this is something which I think we are missing out because, yeah, like you said, fresh is, I mean, the best. You cannot really have any negotiation with that. So I think that is one of the reasons. And of course, I think the people like conceive Ayurveda in such a they kind of worship, like it's part of the whole culture, and it's really beautiful the way people accept Ayurveda so much in Kerala, and it's really wonderful. So I really feel that it's incredible that we have a place which is revolutionizing and taking it globally as well. So it's really wonderful. So yes, so thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much, Dr. Rekha, for giving us your precious time and coming on board. So
My pleasure.
I wish you all the very best. And we actually need Ayurvedic doctors like you who spread the message beautifully globally. And I mean, I congratulate you for that. And I hope and I wish to see you doing the incredible job which you're doing.
Thank you so much, Nikita Doctor. Actually, I feel it is since you're also a doctor, I can also connect with you in a different level. And it has been a lovely conversation. I enjoyed talking to you as well. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you so much. I hope our viewers find this useful. If you find our video useful and you want me to make such more interactions, please let me know. Give us a like and do drop us a comment. We would love to know that. Stay healthy, take care, and make Ayurveda a way of life. Namaste.